Okay, we just got done prototyping whatever this Ibyron? No. Ibyron. There we go. Isle of Discovery. We kind of bastardized ground floor and some other. Oh, and a little bit of what is this? Fields of Laurel for the horses.
And then a bunch of random plastic.
Yeah, plastic cubes. But okay, some of my thoughts are the everybody gets 2 actions thing. I feel like you could streamline that and say you just get 1 action, but one of the actions, you know what I mean? Because every time, most of the time would be you would move and then you'd build, and I'm like, just make that 1 giant action, okay?
Well, the only exception is running a camp is a single action.
Building a camp is a single action. Yes, that means that you can just do that twice as your action, okay?
Yeah, and then
you know what I mean?
2 separate things. Yeah, it's mostly a how we're naming our what's the word I'm looking for? The terminology in the game needs a little revision.
Well, and Golden Cow over here rewrote this current rulebook, although that's a little bit old apparently. And by old, I mean like a day old. he fixed it like the next day, and I printed out the wrong one. But so also, I mean, obviously this thing needs some heavy duty work. Some of this could have been iconography instead. Like, move the lumber mill down 1 track, blah, blah, blah. You could literally have a little symbol that just says remove a lumber. It's not a big deal.
I think that player aid is actually really nice.
It's actually not
that. Fact of being inaccurate.
Well, here's the thing. You were looking at the player aid he made in there, which is 100 times better than this one, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Terminology-wise, I think it was very confusing, the number of things that sound like a farm but aren't a farm.
Yeah, there is a lot. I mean, I think it's great.
And farms, and the farmer does not work the farm because the farm is a static building. He works the grain field.
It's a little bit weird. But there's a lot of things that I thought were really ingenious.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay? The coolness of it's entirely a race to go out there, and I made the mistake of I started building buildings early, and I'm like, I have enough guys to actually do anything now. Okay?
You're using your actions to build buildings that don't help you early enough to make it worth
they were helping me because I got the refinery and lumber mill a little bit down, but they didn't help me as much.
If you can't place the guys left to build those things, it doesn't help you.
Well, I did 1 lumber mill and 1. I did a lumber mill, 1 of each of those. I should have done 1 twice because then it goes down here and it's just a million times better. It literally twice as good.
Specializing is very important.
Yeah, you did a great job as the winner over there.
Cleared my refinery and got my castle pretty quickly on that.
Originally, we were thinking, for a little while we were thinking the castle was like the only way because it gives you all your extra guys. But it's good, but I think you can get the extra guys a lot earlier.
Maybe, if we...
If you do the harbor, you can get all those guys out, and you've got all those guys for like the whole freaking game. Yeah. Okay.
Harbor to double shipbuilder. If he had started that about 6
Instead
times
of getting
earlier,
all my food, I could have gotten the harbor.
You did get a lot of food, and I guess it lets you take all your guys back like all the time. But
and I tried.
I never really felt like it was that much problem. I only had like 4 food, and I'm like, I can get them all back. Piece of cake.
Church stuff.
Yeah, the church.
Yeah, but were you passing early in the colonist phase, or?
No, not really. But I would systematically go to the marketplace and get a bunch of money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd end up with my guys back. It did get you a lot of horses. You did get a lot of horses. I do think there's a ton of different tracks you can go down.
Yeah.
You can try the horses track because what is it? The stable, the ranch gives you free horses. Okay, which is good.
Very helpful.
I do think there's about 3 tracks to actually winning, but the way you do it is differently.
There are technically 4. There's the
castle.
There's the castle. There's the harbor.
There is the church tabernacle, which I played wrong because I didn't lay enough. I didn't lay enough mountains down to make to build my churches.
We did get everything but 3 tiles on the board, and I think veterans could get everything on the board relatively quick.
What's the 4th way, David?
And the 4th way is the build your track out and just do small buildings.
That's what I was planning on doing, and if I had started that earlier, I might have pulled it off.
If you upgrade all of those, then it means that you can be plopping down on heavier buildings.
You still need to get your workers from somewhere.
Well, I mean, you do them through the churches, but you're not trying to build the big ones. You're building the guilds to to use up all your workers and then spreading it out between the
That's
smaller.
what I was thinking was the harbor. You can get all your guys, extra guys with the harbor, and then you got so many guys. Who cares? If you put them out one at a time. You can be everywhere on the board, and people are like, "No, I was going to use that," and you can't. They can't get resources there. It could really screw with people.
The village phase, I don't think there's anything about that I really didn't like. We didn't use the library because that's what the optional rules. That we didn't
Yeah,
play
but
with.
actually, I wouldn't mind trying the library sometime too.
No, I wouldn't mind it either. I like pretty much everything out here. I mean, there were a
I'm
couple
still
of
not sure how it works,
revisions,
to be
but-
honest.
It just looks like you spend $1, and then you get a worker that you can only use this next round.
You get the workers when you take a land tile, and that's
Okay.
how you get
Okay.
them
Never
back.
mind. It's a lot more complicated than I thought. So I'll have to look that
I
up.
feel the 2 cubes is never going to be used. 2 cubes for 1 gold.
Oh, it's
If you're
ridiculous.
desperate.
I assume.
Even if you're desperate,
Here's the thing.
that is still because
I assume that's a holdover from when that 5th spot there gave you a cube.
You know,
that
I
could
bet
be.
it is.
Well,
But,
that was on the previous board too.
But
But what?
if you build the Explorers Guild, you get the gold and you use 2 guys, which is far superior than that.
True indeed.
So for watchers, what did we changed it? That black cube now gives you a stone.
Stone.
Yes.
It used to just be
And
more
this is 0
horses
through 5.
and
That's
resources.
is that really about it? We changed.
Yeah,
That's
this one was 2 horses, that one was 2 resources.
And we
And
wrote
then-
we
and
wrote
then
on the
this is
board to
like
try to clarify how many discs it took, but that's not really changing it.
But yeah, with this being a stone instead of a tech cube,
Yeah.
this is
This
awful
is-
and no one
It's weird. I think
unless they have the treasury.
the problem with that stone is it used to be overpowered. Now I'm not going to do that to get one freaking stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just get a horse.
If this
Yeah.
was 1 cube and a stone, that would make more sense.
That
Using
might be
18
something.
cube and that stone to get that early enough in the game might make that
Maybe.
difference. But
I mean,
but
I do think there needs to
you're
be a brutal way to get gold without getting either of those other 2 buildings there. But boy, 2 black is still
well, it's
just
a way
a
to
little
get a church
much.
early.
Yeah, but what's the benefit of that? You spend 2 workers to get 1 back. It doesn't help your engine any.
That's true.
Doesn't help your engine. You're right. I'm trying to think.
Engine
It could give you
schmingin.
the 1 gold you need for your
To start the
castle.
castle, that's true. That's important.
Yeah. and you're not going to go for 5, 10.
Boy.
One benefit, you get
This
two
is
horses
something I had
for free.
spaced on.
And
You can
your-
get all those out, then you can get gold just
But
by
the
putting
issue
worker
with
there and go,
grid-
I got gold.
I will.
Yeah, but
I will
that's- you have to
say. I will say there's an
You
issue
build
with
3.
that.
buildings.
Huh? Yeah, I know, but
the
you
tax line almost doesn't matter because by the time you can get to the bottom of this, you've already built your big buildings and the game's
And
over.
you don't need it.
Oh, okay.
The game is like literally
so
over.
that isn't like the other ones. You can't just build the same building over and over.
No, each one of the 3 is
The
going to
only,
be
the only
They're
buildings
separate
that do it
different
are the
buildings.
3 buildings.
Oh, that sucks.
Yep.
There are 4.
Because I mean, if it was like those, and I'm like, I'll just build 3 of the same ones. They might be kind of expensive, but now I can start getting gold on the run. Boom, gold. Because people don't take tax collector as
There is no way to get to the bottom of this tax track without ending the game, at least within a turn.
Yeah, so I think the tax. It
Takes 9 of your.
It takes 9
take a
things.
lot.
Well,
9 of the 18 workers you need to win.
6 if you're lucky enough to get the Foresters Guild to trigger off that.
Well, that's also 3 workers.
Oh yeah, so 9. Either way you go, you're triggering off 9 of the 18. It's going to end not long after that.
And if you haven't already obtained your extra workers to enable endgame, and you did that, you probably just tanked your game in the process. So you're probably it's going to end soon.
I'm going to apologize again, but there actually is the one other way to win, is to remove all 9 of these cubes.
Yep.
and you just win.
Yeah.
Yep.
But to remove all 9 of those cubes, it
you
costs
use 18 people, roughly.
It costs 15 workers, but you still have your mayor. So you still have to get one of your 6 unavailable workers to actually do that. That's literally only if you build exactly the buildings.
Those 9, but
Because
you.
these starter buildings don't count. It's just the it's
So-
That's just this weird alternate thing that is in there, but nobody's ever going to do.
You'll be almost to winning the regular way by the time you actually clear out all the 9 of those, and you're just so constrained
with what you are able
what
to build.
because you must build 3 of them. You must
Well,
build.
these are easy to get out.
fairness,
Okay, it's these 3 that'd be a pain in the
Thought
ass.
about that. I would not have been far from doing that. I could have easily done that instead of chemistry.
I'm not saying you wouldn't be
If
far
you
off,
hadn't said screw lump
but you'd
six,
also
you
be
know.
pretty much equally close to any
Exactly.
the winning the normal way.
Yeah.
And then you could build whatever the heck you want instead of.
The only reason you would have put that in there is as a 4th strategy, like a 4th hard strategy.
Yeah.
Because right
Well,
now there are 3 hard
there
strategies.
is
the fact that you
there
still
is
need
a
to get one
there
worker
is a
so
different
close.
way. You can get
The one-
ball these off.
Because if you build a church,
'Cause
then you
if-
can build all these.
How many
without
can you
getting
only
another-
build one Foresters Guild?
Correct.
The
Those
only-
are one-ups.
You can only build one of those Forester
Correct.
guilds?
The guilds are all one-ups.
Okay.
The
Well,
3
still,
years are all
this
mine.
last one here requires nothing but all these things you've already taken off, and then you take the last one off. That might be an alternate other than all these taxation
These
ones.
are 3.
13, 14, 15.
So it's 9 plus.
It's 15,
Yeah,
I mean,
16, 17. So
This
it's
is
actually
a-
almost dead on the same, but you only have to get one worker out. So that's the fourth way.
Oh.
It's almost
no,
identical
but you
to
need to get
everything
an
else.
extra worker out to replace the one you used in the church.
No, that's
The
17.
church pulls one from the
Yeah,
other.
but you only
game
start with
design.
15 workers.
Yeah.
but the church itself gives
One
you
is in
one.
the farm,
Yes.
so you have 14 to build with.
Oh, that's weird.
And can you only build? No, you can build multiple churches.
Yeah,
That
but
is-
it'll
But each
never
of them costs
outpace
you
this.
1 worker net.
So this-
that's
Oh.
not helping.
Yeah,
So this
you're right,
actually
it's not
takes
helping.
more people than
Well,
just winning by
I
18.
think
No.
just any game that makes this
Because
level
to be able to
of
get another
strategic
person,
discussion
you have to build another church,
doesn't completely suck.
which essentially uses another
It has a lot of
person,
potential.
No,
which
you
puts you
can
over
you get
18.
the other person using the shipyard.
Yeah, I think as far as the game overall is concerned,
But then you're wasting
Or you
people.
build the castle, because the third stage of the castle gives you the tax cube, and then you
building?
spend one
But
guy to
you
get
use three
6.
People, but you use 3 people. Yeah, there's no
Yeah,
reason.
but no, you need 3
But
people.
that's what I'm saying. There is no reason to get all 9 of these cubes instead of just doing 18.
Well, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
But
Strategy discussion. Okay.
you do need less people than the regular way, though.
Literally one extra person, and it's easier just to go for the regular. And
No, you only need 16 people. It's
4,
15.
10, 16.
No, it's 9 for the tax track,
Yep.
3 for that, 3 for that.
And then you have to spend the one extra one to get the castle, glass castle
Or you
pile to
build
get
a
the
shipyard.
The shipyard.
less efficient than
It's
just
better
getting one.
to
coat.
But here's
Castle.
here's the weird thing about the shipyard. It gives you all your guys, and it doesn't actually technically use any of them up.
right.
That is the benefit to that, so you can actually cycle back through.
You have them all to you, and then you can just
But
plop
you're
all those out.
spending goods to not get to the end game.
I
It's
think
slightly different, yeah.
it's weird. I mean, we haven't played it enough. Is the problem?
That's
Right.
true. But as far as tracks, there's
And none of
three-
us went shipyard this
Yeah.
game, really? For realsies?
Yeah, we didn't do it. I started it late, and it was just
Not
stupid.
early enough. No, we're just all just
So we-
jacking
But
off in the park.
it's weirdly,
saw this.
and it's also not that hard to get that shipyard out there.
it's
So
not.
that harbor,
Especially if you don't hose
6
yourself
stone, you can get that out on the,
You
like the
build-
third round. I
you
would
build
say
one refinery, not the refinery, the foundry.
you
right
might be able to
off
get
the
that in the second round.
bat. Yeah, the foundry.
enough
off the
horses
bat,
and
you
just
can-
go crazy.
You can horse stable the second
Yeah,
round.
Foundry as a starting building, that's interesting.
Maybe if that 5th spot gave you 2 stone. The 1 stone, nobody even considered using it.
Definitely,
But for
yeah.
2 stone,
For 2 stone, that actually
One
would be worth
stone
it.
That
is
might be worth-
basically half a horse.
yeah, it's garbage.
Complications
But 2,
there,
but the difference between that and a horse then is with the horse you'd have to get the horse,
You actually have to
then have to build the mine, and
build
do
the
all
work
the
camp, which
bullshit.
costs the distance
That
fees
just
and-
gives you 2. Okay.
Yeah, this one even got taken a couple of times. Just taking a bunch, and that one got skipped.
I took
People like,
yeah.
I'm either going to do 3 or going to do 5, but screw 4.
Yeah,
Because
and the 0 is perfect. You use them all up, it just gives you.
Frankly, I think
Because
these
you
two
get-
should be swapped too, kind of. But
I agree.
You're right.
I agree.
Horses do seem
Nobody
better.
took almost
I did
nobody
it
took
once.
This one, we took it once because
it might be better for the game though to have the horse on the free one, because otherwise it might just get screwed.
it might be.
Not on the free one, on the one.
On
it might
the
be.
one.
On the
I do
one.
have
On
to
the
say,
easy
though,
to
as far
get.
as the worth of the actions, these being swapped would probably be a better.
Because it's a more powerful thing.
I would
But I'm
absolutely-
going to tell you one thing though. That one horse is super useful,
Yeah.
but it isn't game-breakingly useful. It gives you a horse. Okay.
Especially because you can.
Especially since I haven't got enough to actually get a horse, but I have 1 left. I'll just pass down and get my horse.
To be perfectly honest.
Okay, I'm putting a stop on this. We're 13 and a half minutes in. But I think I'm going to call this a positive review.
Yeah, I like it.
Yes, there are things
Oh, yeah.
that need adjusting.
I think-
but there is
I
nothing
will.
broken in the game.
This is a very recent print and play that we made or whatever. I will put these on thicker things.
Yeah.
But actually, the components that we bastardized and stuff work just fine. These discs are a perfect size. Bye bye.
I think
picture
the
of the box. It's ground
terminology
floor.
and
I actually, when you were over there, I said we stole from ground floor and some cubes and stuff. Okay, bye bye.